Well, the Dallas Cowboys had a chance to get over 500 today. All they had to do was take down the lowly Carolina Panthers. Did not happen. Cowboys find a way to lose as time expires 30-27. And this really exposes the problem for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are really good and really bad at the same time. And I mean historically really good and really bad. For example, Dallas, so far this season, has the number one offense in the NFL. They're fourth in points, but number one is yards per game, which is well over 400 yards per game. And they're dominating on offense. Dak Prescott had another amazing game today. Another amazing game. George Pickens, by the way, is not just helping them get by with the CeeDee Lamb injury. He is dominating. Pickens was unguardable today, unstoppable. He did whatever he wanted, including a high hurdle that would make Edwin Moses look jealous. Look it up. Edwin Moses, the greatest hurdler in the history of the sport. There will be no discussions about that at this time. Just go ahead and take a look at Edwin Moses' career. That's one half of the Dallas Cowboys. Their offense is incredible. Dak Prescott once again playing at an MVP level. Here's the problem for the Dallas Cowboys. To quote Bart Scott a few years ago, they can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop anybody. They have the number one offense and the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL. And that's what the Carolina Panthers exposed today in that 30-27 win. So just so people understand how weird, the Dallas Cowboys are Harvey Dent from the Batman series. You know, Two-Face, one side really nice, the other side, oh, God, stay away. We don't want any part of that. And that's the part the Cowboys have to reconcile. Just so people understand, the Cowboys are now the sixth team to lead the NFL in total offense and rank last in total defense through the first 6 games of the season. 4 of the previous 5 went on to make the playoffs. However, the Cowboys are averaging giving up over 30 points a game on defense. And here's where it gets tricky. No team has ever made the playoffs giving up over 30 points a game per season. And there's no reason to suggest that the Cowboys are going to slow down giving up those types of numbers. Because look at the quarterbacks that have strafed the Dallas Cowboys. This is not what we were going to call a murderer's row of quarterbacks, okay? Russell Wilson, benched. Bryce Young, very close to being benched once again. These are the types of quarterbacks that the Cowboys are letting pick them apart. Now, Jordan Love in the tie a few weeks ago also did that. But they have not played a murderer's row of quarterbacks. In fact, the only quarterback that's really struggled against them, oddly, is Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, that offense. So what we're seeing here is a waste of a year, quite frankly. A waste of a year in where Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP level, and he played exceptionally well again today. Dak Prescott was not the problem for the Dallas Cowboys today. Once again, it was their defense. And this goes back to something that we've talked about a lot on this show, and we'll continue to talk about it because it's such a glaring self-mistake. It's such a glaring mental error. It's such a glaring own goal. The Dallas Cowboys have done this to themselves. They did this because of the trade of Micah Parsons. And the trade of Micah Parsons happened because Jerry Jones got personal. Okay? What's the old line? You never fuck the money. Okay? That's the line in business. Don't fuck the money. They did that. They messed up the money. It got personal between Jerry Jones. Remember, when he was first starting to talk about a contract extension for Micah Parsons, what did he say? He said, well, I don't even know who his agent is. His agent is David Mulugheta, who's arguably the best agent in football. So when you go into that conversation saying you don't even know who the agent is for one of your best players, that's an insult. It's an insult to David, and it's an insult to Micah. And you have now created a team, which, by the way, when CeeDee Lamb gets back, this Dallas offense, I don't know how good it can be, but it's going to have to be even better than it's been before because they can't stop anybody. I mean, they literally can't stop anybody. We talked about the quarterbacks that have strafed this Cowboys defense. Well, did you see what Rico Dowdle did today for the Carolina Panthers? He had close to 200 total yards in offense, and he stated it. This was a revenge game for me. After spending all those years with the Dallas Cowboys, and they cut him in the offseason, he's like, fine, that's the way you want it. If that's the way you want to play it, I'm happy to go there. So let's look at Rico Dowdle's numbers for the Carolina Panthers. Okay, first of all, let's just do Bryce Young. Bryce Young, 17 to 25, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception against the worst defense in football. Rico Dowdle, 30 carries, 183 yards, averaged 6.1 yards per carry. 6.1 yards per carry. That's bad, right? It is very bad. What did we say when we were trading away Micah Parsons? We got to get better at stopping the run. You haven't got better at stopping anything. In fact, you've probably gotten worse at stopping the run when Rico Dowdle can go for 183 yards and 6.1 yards per carry. And oh, by the way, then added 4 catches for 56 yards, 14 per catch, and a touchdown, including a 36-yarder. So what you're looking at with the Dallas Cowboys is a team that is basically unstoppable on offense and has the ability to stop no one on defense. And how do you get that bad? You get that bad by bad management, okay? It's just that simple. Like the Cleveland Browns have a really good defense, right? They're second-ranked defense. They can't do anything on offense. I think everyone would say that's a bad organization, right? They don't know what's going on. They tried Joe Flacco. Now they're trying Dylan Gabriel. And I would suspect with the way things have gone, they only scored 9 points against the Steelers, that at some point soon they will have to say, okay, Shooter Sanders, let's see what you can do. Everyone would say that that's a bad team management. That's a badly built team. All their players are on one side of the ball. They have no idea what they're doing on the other side of the ball. So what do we say about the Dallas Cowboys? All the Dallas Cowboys had to do on this day was find a way to beat Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. And Bryce Young and Rico Dowdle said, that ain't happening. Cowboys went down and took that, tied the game up, and then they could not stop anybody from going right down the field and getting the winning score for the Carolina Panthers. This Dallas Cowboys team is maddening. And what did Jerry Jones say? We need to get better. We need to get better so we can be better for Dak. You've gotten worse for Dak. You've gotten significantly worse for Dak. So let's look at the Cowboys' schedule now, right? They got to play the Commanders. Then they got to go to Denver. Now, Denver's not going to wow you offensively, but that defense is for real. They sacked the Jets 9 times Sunday morning in London. Then they got to take on the Arizona Cardinals and the Raiders. Maybe they get some wins there. They get Philadelphia. Then they get the Kansas City Chiefs. Then they got to play the Lions. Then they got to play Minnesota and the Chargers. The point I'm making is, if you're the Cowboys and you have a chance to try and sneak into the postseason with a team that is completely, heads, tails, 50-50 one way or the other, these are the games you got to win. You got to find a way to win against the Carolina Panthers team. And that's probably the biggest signature win in Dave Canales' career as a Carolina Panther head coach. So these are things that they are squandering away. And they are doing the exact thing that Jerry said they didn't want to do. We don't want to waste another one of Dak's years. But there we are. Rico Dowdle taking it to that defense, and the Cowboys couldn't stop anybody. George Pickens has been remarkable. George Pickens has scored a touchdown in 5 straight games for the Dallas Cowboys. He's not just filling in for CeeDee Lamb. He's become the go-to guy. He has been everything the Cowboys would hoped he would be when they made the trade for him. And look, there were a lot of reasons to question the trade. I was one of them. I said, go back and look. You can see tape of George Pickens not exactly hustling last year when the Cowboys went into Pittsburgh about this time a year ago on a Sunday night game and came away with a big win. Well, George Pickens did not bring that BS with him to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, huge game today, 5th straight game with a touchdown. He's played 6 games for the Cowboys. He has 6 touchdowns in that game. He has been everything the Cowboys have wanted. And when CeeDee Lamb comes back and the way the Cowboys are running the ball effectively as a group and the way Dak is playing, their offense is going to be very hard to stop. But they can't stop anyone on defense. They can't stop anyone. The Panthers are not a good offensive football team. They're average at best. We know what the Giants are now. They weren't that team when they played them. And that game went to overtime, and it was just a Russell Wilson interception that stopped that game. The Cowboys might actually have 2 ties on the season if that interception doesn't go for Russell Wilson. So there is no cohesive plan, despite what you hear out of the front office, despite what you hear from Jerry Jones. There is no cohesive plan on how to build this team. They have decided to pay Dak. They have decided to pay CD. They decided not to pay their best defensive player, and they have the worst defense in football. All those things you said you wanted to do, You're not doing a single thing of them. And you know it. So quit telling us this. Quit telling us that you had a plan, and the plan was to make the defense better against the run. The defense sucks, and the defense sucks against the run. And Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP level. Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are unbelievable weapons for him. And you may be flushing that season and those type of performances down the toilet because you were stubborn and you made it personal when it came to Micah Parsons. And that's not good business. That's bad business. And that's bad football. And that's bad team management. And those are straight facts, homie.